I have received some messages from people telling me how they feel when they watch the nature documentaries. And I've been thinking a lot about it because really, when we are in contact with nature, we can feel better. You can find beauty. I remember an experience that I had a couple of years ago. I was in Colombia in a nature park in the Andes. It's up in the mountains. The place is called Otun Quimbaya. And when we got there, we met our guide, Alejandro. And the first thing he said is, tonight we are going to have a beautiful experience. So I want to meet you at 7 at the trail. So we went there with our flashlights, and he said, okay, we're gonna start. You need to turn off your flashlights. And we were like, what? It was really dark, and the trail was full of pebbles and roots and potholes with water, and it was muddy. So we were like, what are we gonna be doing here? And he said, we're gonna try to walk, so you can go slowly, but we are gonna be walking in this trail. So we turned off the flashlights and we started walking. What I felt was I was in this completely black hole, and I was afraid I was gonna fall, I was gonna trip. I started sliding my foot in the mud, feeling really insecure. And it felt like it was a long time. Maybe it wasn't, but I was scared. As we advanced, Alejandro stopped and said, okay, you're doing great. Now is part 2. We thought that part 2 was when we turned on our flashlights, but it wasn't. He said, I'm gonna leave you one by one. Each of you is gonna be separated from the group, and you are gonna be probably 10 minutes apart from each other. 10 minutes apart wasn't that much because we were walking slowly, but anyway, we couldn't see each other or feel each other because we couldn't see anything. I knew that it was gonna take a long time because he had to leave the other people in front of me. And I realized that I had to be in that spot for at least 30-40 minutes. And walking around was not an option. I didn't want to get lost. And standing in there just for him to come back for me wasn't an option either. So I sat down, and it was muddy, but it was okay. It wasn't that bad. And then I decided to lay down, and as I looked up, I saw the trees were really, really tall, and I could see the sky, just small patches of sky. It was a starry night. It was absolutely beautiful. I didn't feel so lost. I felt like there was magic in this moment. And I started to enjoy myself, because when you are in the city, you never have the time or the opportunity to see the stars. Not like this. It was a place where there were no cities or towns, so the light contamination was nothing, zero. So I started enjoying this beautiful place when I noticed the fireflies and then many other little creatures that I never thought they could produce light. And there were many with different shapes. Some were crawling, some were flying. And I started listening to the forest. And it was magic. It was so beautiful. And the time flew. I was so much enjoying myself that when Alejandro came back, I said, "Are you here already?" I didn't want to leave. I was so thrilled. It was a magic moment. And now, as I remember this moment, I try to bring it into my life. And sometimes the problem is not that it is dark. Sometimes the problem is that we don't see the beauty even in the darkest moments. And this is what nature can give us. Nature can show us that even in those really dark moments, we can find beauty. And this is an invitation for you to start looking for those moments. We don't need to wait until it's morning, or we don't need to wait until we can turn on our flashlights. We can find beauty and peace even in the middle of the night.